here at Replay Airsoft with our celebrity panel. I have Alex and I have Bill. Both of them are referees here at the arena, and they're both avid airsoft enthusiasts. And this week's question for them is, I've heard recently Walmart here in this area has pulled airsoft from their shelves, which is a huge surprise to me. But what do you think about that? Walmart's not selling airsoft anymore.
I think it's probably a liability thing. I mean, maybe part of it is sales, but I always see kids come in with like the Black Ops M4s and the pistols, and I think that's what Walmart sells, the Black Ops series. I mean, I think it's sort of like just a liability thing to a degree. I mean, if a kid goes in and buys it, I mean, yeah, you have to have your parent with you, at least, you know, most likely, unless it's some sort of underhanded thing. I mean, you need your parent there, but still, once the kid has their hand on it, they could take it to their backyard or they could take it anywhere, and they don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if you buy from Walmart, it's go to self-checkout, you know, the person there inspects it, make sure you have your parent, and that's it.
But that's sort of the thing with the liability issue. I mean, I watch the news as much as I can, but I've never heard of any particular major story about Walmart being sued or danger. No. Have you heard anything?
Not directly to that, but if you remember, was it about a couple months ago where the 12-year-old kid in Cincinnati was shot? He was actually pointing an airsoft pistol at the officers.
Do you think it's just a trickle-down kind of stuff from that?
I think, yeah, they're trying to get out before something explodes to them. We found this kid, he bought it from Walmart or Target, came back to him, and...
I don't know if you heard of that other case that was just this past week, depending on how old this video is. The couple of cops that got shot by a guy sued the gun store that sold him the gun and won, which is a landmark case from what I heard, that the gun stores have enjoyed a certain amount of protection from legal suits, but apparently it was such a bad situation, the guy that they sold it to, they should have known not to sell it to this particular individual. Maybe that's it, where Walmart's seeing the writing on the wall that they no longer have this protection. For the sport of airsoft, do you think this is going to have an effect? Because having a store like Walmart that has readily available stuff, do you think there's going to be kids are going to have a harder time getting the stuff?
Well, if I was getting into airsoft or just playing around with it in the backyard, maybe I would go there and buy a spring rifle or something like that. But if I was getting into to play the sport, like find fields or come to the arena to play in, I would go to somebody that has knowledge about the weapon. I really wouldn't call it a weapon, the replica of the weapon, and to give me some knowledge on, you know.
Well, a broom handle could be a weapon.
Exactly, exactly. But I mean, you know, there is a safety standard for airsoft that, you know, with the orange tip, but that doesn't always adhere to everybody.
Well, the thing is, I'm kind of wondering, now, as a store owner, don't get me wrong, I am about as pleased as I can be about Walmart getting out of it, because that means there's a lot fewer people out there in competition with me, where we had Walmarts within stone's throw of us in 2 locations. So now we are pretty much one of the only sources of the airsoft stuff. But it makes me wonder that, you know, when I got into it with my nephew, that was the first place that we went to get our guns. It's like, is that going to stymie the industry that, you know, usually this is the second step, people coming to a store like this. Is that going to have an effect in the long term where kids just aren't going to see the guns and they're not going to know much about it?
I don't think so, because I mean, kids today are really connected, I mean, through the internet and things, and, you know, they see things like video games and airsoft and stuff that otherwise, you know, you would have had to go to a store to see. So I mean, if they see a video online of, you know, they look up, let's say, Nerf, and then eventually they find their way over to airsoft, they go, wow, you know, that looks really cool. I think either way they're going to start investigating, well, how can I get involved? Are there any local venues? And then they could find this place or other places, and of course we sell the guns, so I think they're going to be able to, anybody that is interested in airsoft, they'll be able to reach in terms of sales.
Have you ever bought a gun at or airsoft gun at Walmart?
No.
Never?
No.
I think when I first got into it when I was a kid, I got one from Dick's, not Walmart, but I got one from Dick's Sporting Goods. And I mean, same general principle, I guess.
Dick's Spring Special.
I think in the long run, from my experience, that whenever I saw a kid come in here with a Walmart gun, I always felt a little bit sorry for him, because they have such a limited lifespan, the guns that came in. We've got piles of Black Ops, you know, receivers and gearboxes and stuff like that. So I think in the long run, people are going to end up buying nicer equipment. I always sort of felt sorry for the kids that came in with that stuff, because something broke on it, there's not much we can do.
Unfortunately, when you buy something like from Dick's or Walmart, it's a plastic. Me, when I first got into it, my friends told me to make sure I get an all metal. And it's a little heavier, but it lasts. If you happen to trip on something, you don't fall on it, and it breaks in half.
Yeah.
That's with a full metal, it doesn't do that.
The funny thing that I found, I've been on the internet when I first noticed it. The first thing I did was went on the internet and Googled if Walmart was getting out of it. There's nothing out there, and this is a huge thing for me. And I am so surprised that this isn't a big publicity thing, that they're doing it so quietly. Aside from I've had one guy that came in here that said he bought like half a dozen of these guns on closeout at Walmart, that he took advantage of it. But for the same token, I kind of felt sorry for the guy because he just bought half a dozen crap guns. So you're just gonna have a pile of parts in a couple of weeks. So I didn't really feel that good about that whole thing. So long term, what do you think?
I think for long term, it's going to help you as a retail store owner in a good way.
That I like. Well, that's about it. So there's less places to buy them, and if you're looking for a place to buy, go to our website, replayairsoft.com. We service what we sell. This is one of the things that we've always had over the big box stores, is that if you buy a gun from here and you got a problem with it, you have a question, you can bring it in here. When you're buying the gun, we have the arena. If you're not sure if you want to buy it, you want to try it out, you can take it out there, shoot it, see what it feels like. We have that advantage over pretty much everybody that's out there. So take advantage of it. Come on down here to the arena or check us out on the web. And until the next time, don't let the bastards get you down.